Now, I think that this is clear what to do over the 2 weeks, and we've given them options, and people can self-diagnose and see where they fit better. But I'd like to bring up another topic, which is what can you skip? What should people be aware that, people are telling them to do and they should skip? They should definitely skip. There's something that's super important to me that is, as I've said, people are going to be telling them, do mock interviews. Some people are going to tell them to do 30. Some people are going to tell them to do 50.
Yeah.
What I would tell them is anything more than, my number is 6.
Okay.
I think that your number is different, but anything more than 6, in my opinion, you skip if you have so little time.
Yeah.
If you can do more is still good.
I think 10 stops for me, but it depends on the context. Like if it's easy for you to find case partners, you can do 10, I guess, given that you do them in the right order. So not that many at first, and then the others just to test your improvement after targeted practice. But I think somewhere between 5 and 10.
Yeah. I think that what people need to understand is that...
And this is not general advice for everyone. It's for people who have 2 weeks.
Yeah, of course. What they need to understand is that mock interviews are extremely inefficient.
Yeah.
They have they do have something good that they bring. They are necessary in a sense that they help you self-diagnose and they help you feel the pressure of solving a problem with someone in front of you.
Yeah.
But they're extremely inefficient because they take a long time. You have to do a case with someone else. You have to schedule with someone else. Sometimes people don't show up. Sometimes they take longer than expected. So they're tiring and they take a long time. So you should really aim at doing as little as possible to reach whichever goal you're trying to reach.
Yeah, and just to give people like more security or more safety on what we're saying, we get a lot of emails of people who followed a plan similar to this. They did a lot of solo practice, used the free course, watched videos, tried to replicate the answers, and did few mock interviews, sometimes even none, which I don't really recommend, but some people did it, and got offers at McKinsey, at BCG, at Bain. I wouldn't say it's the rule, because it is hard to get into these firms, even harder if you're short on time.
Yeah.
But it is possible. So I just wanted to put it out there, because otherwise people are like, oh, these two guys are just saying, things out of their heads. Like, we've seen it. We've seen it with our coaching clients. We get emails monthly of people who've gone through this experience. We've talked to these candidates and they exist. It's possible. So I just wanted to say that. Yeah. But back to what you can skip. I think 2 things you can skip and you should skip is mental math. So like mental math apps doing that stuff, and studying business industries. So I see a lot of candidates doing that. Oh, I'm reading reports on steel companies or airlines to understand the industry better. You can do these 2 things if you have more time, but you shouldn't do it if you have just 2 weeks. It's not productive. And I see a lot of people doing these 2 things because they're easy.
Yeah.
Like they're comfortable. Like, oh, just do some mental math and read some reports here and I'll be preparing for my cases. No, you're not. You can do it on your free time if you want. I prefer doing other stuff, but this is not very productive when you're not great at cases. When you're great at cases, you can marginally improve your performance by doing these 2 things, but they won't help you get first round ready. Yeah, they might help you improve for your final rounds and etc. Now, what I don't mean here, you should not skip relearning some arithmetic with pen and paper. So like long divisions. If you struggle with that, you will need that to pass your first rounds. So you should relearn that. I had to. Yeah. Because I hadn't done it in ages. But that's like pen and paper. It's not like fancy mental math techniques. And the other thing that you should do if you need to is, if you don't know anything about about businesses in general, you should learn some basic business concepts. So it's not learning about industries and trends and etc. It's like, oh, P&L, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Oh, revenues, profits, what's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, market share, what does this mean? Now, a lot of people go to business books to learn this, and you don't have time for that again. So what I recommend is what I call just-in-time learning.
Yeah.
For that. So you went through a case or a drill, and you found a concept that you did not understand.
Mm-hmm.
Type it up on Google, find a YouTube video, short one that explains that, and understand, and then move on.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, like, you'll get more repertoire on these business concepts. But if you come from a non-business background, it's important that you go through some of these concepts that will appear in your cases and in your drills and in your practice naturally.
Yeah.
And understand them.
Yeah, but only when they show up.
Yeah, because otherwise you're stuck with like an accounting book, a marketing book, a finance book, an operations book, and you won't see those things anywhere. So
They're going to have to do a full business degree.
yeah, you need a whole MBA for that.
Now that, since we're on the skipping topic, there's something that came to my mind, and that is PI and fit preparation.
Yeah, as we mentioned, shouldn't skip it.
Yeah, many people tend to skip it when they're short in time because it's about themselves. So they're like, yeah, I know this.
Yeah.
I don't care. But it's silly to skip it because, number one, interviewers really look into that. Mm-hmm. It's important to them. They say it's 50%. You could argue it's 40. You could argue it's 60. I don't care. They look into it. And it's like there's a case that it's gonna be in your interview, and you know what the case question is. It's super silly not to prepare.
You mean the case is the fit?
The case is the fit.
It's the fit questions.
The fit questions are kind of like a case that you know the question.
Yeah.
So it's silly not to go ready for that, even if just for a few hours.
Yeah. Also, a lot of candidates who have more time, they have 2 months, they also skip the fit and the PEI. So it's the one thing that you have a good chance of being better than everyone.
Yeah.
So you'll hardly be better than most in the case if you just have 2 weeks. Maybe you're a natural, but probably not. Mm-hmm. Most people aren't. Even most people who get in aren't. They had to prepare a lot. But on the fit, if you spend like 2 hours to do a general fit preparation, why consulting, why this firm, what's your main weakness, go through your CV, you're better than most.
Yeah.
For the PI, if you spend, 6-8 hours, you're better than most also. So it's the one thing you can get a spike on. Mm-hmm. And getting a spike in consulting lingo means doing way better than most.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. You need to do that. Now, one thing that I would skip is the books.
Oh yeah, definitely agree.
Right. So case in point, Victor Chang. I'm not completely against them. I don't like case in point. I think it's very misleading. But example, Victor Chang's book, Case Interview Secrets. I think it's a good book for very beginner. You will need to dig deeper than that if you want to get in. But if you're very short on time, it takes like 6 hours to read it.
Yeah.
So it's not good ROI on your time. And I think, you don't have time for these like high level, nice to have things when a short YouTube video can complement. If you want to read it because you like reading before bed, and you wouldn't be doing anything else, then I guess you can. Yeah. But I'd skip that.
Yeah, if you have a full year to prepare, I still wouldn't read Case in Point.
No, Case in Point, I agree. It's bad for you in the sense that it will give you a wrong impression of what they're looking for, and it's hard to unlearn these things. Some parts of the book are okay, but a lot of parts are, like, maybe they worked 15 years ago, 20 years ago when the book was written. I don't think so, because it's like memorizing a dozen frameworks is like the opposite of what real consultants do in their job, and this is what they're looking for. But like maybe it was useful for putting you ahead
Mm-hmm.
20 years ago, when people didn't do anything to prepare, they just showed up.
Yeah.
But nowadays, like it's not good. It's misleading.
Yeah, we could do a whole episode explaining why, but
Didn't we do on audio?
I think we did.
Okay,
I think we did. Yeah.
So you can watch on iTunes and Spotify and so on.
Mm-hmm.